Hello folks, this is Aitan Raja from InspiredRise.com, and today we have the Huawei Honor 5X and the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 3 here with us for a comparison review between both of these devices. We will check both of these devices, test them against various parameters and see how well do these devices perform when pitted against each other. The Redmi Note 3 does feel lighter than the Honor 5X, and both of these devices are 5.5-inch devices, but the Redmi Note 3 also comes with the infrared blaster, which makes it somewhat better in that terms. Talking about overall design sense, then the Redmi Note 3 does feel a little bit better in hand when compared to the Honor 5X, and you get color choices, also good color choices in the Redmi Note 3 style. Both of these phones are sturdy in hand, but the Redmi Note 3's full aluminium build does feel a little bit more premium than the Honor 5X. So right now we have restarted both of these smartphones from a cold boot condition, and let's just see how much free RAM do we get right now. So on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 we get a free RAM of around 948 megabytes, and let's just check the same thing on the Huawei Honor 5X. On the Honor 5X we get a free RAM of around 1.05 gigabytes, which tells us that it does have more free RAM than the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 when started from a cold boot condition. Let's test the fingerprint sensor of both of these smartphones. So because of the fact that MIUI does have a little bit longer animation, it does appear that it takes much time. Let's check it again. So this is because of the fact that MIUI does have a longer animation time. The Honor 5X does win in the fingerprint unlocking test. We have been using both of these smartphones since more than a week, and the scores are definitely low on both of them, but the Redmi Note 3 does have really better score when compared to the Huawei Honor 5X and the Redmi Note 3, even with the 2GB RAM model, which is almost the same RAM as that on the Huawei Honor 5X. It is still a better and faster phone in terms of performance. The difference in terms of single core score is staggering between both of these smartphones, but in terms of multi-core score on the Geekbench 3, both of these smartphones are somewhat comparable, but still the Redmi Note 3 is a better performing smartphone. Now when we talk about the imaging capabilities of both of these devices, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 packs a 16 megapixel primary camera and a 5 megapixel front camera, while the Huawei Honor 5X packs a 13 megapixel primary camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. Let's look at the image samples that we took. So when we took a selfie, the selfie came out pretty saturated and nice on the Redmi Note 3. The color reproduction is nice, while on the Huawei Honor 5X the clarity was a little bit more, but the color reproduction wasn't that great as compared to the Redmi Note 3. The color of my face is somewhat similar to that on the Redmi Note 3, so the overall selfie quality on the Redmi Note 3 was a little better, while the wide angle and aperture size on the Honor 5X was somewhat better. When we took the same image of leaves, and these leaves were shaking due to wind, and we took the images of these leaves on both of these smartphones, the color reproduction came closer to accurate on the Xiaomi Note 3, and you can see that the overall clarity and color reproduction is really great on the Redmi Note 3, while that on the Huawei Honor 5X is a little bit overblown. We didn't have HDR enabled for any of these shots, so you can see the difference. In this image the Huawei Honor 5X is a little bit better, but when you talk about overall clarity and how much of inside the flower can you see clearly, then the Redmi Note 3 indeed wins. You can even see the small pollen grains. That's something great about it. Talking about this HDR image that we took, then the quality on the camera on the Huawei Honor 5X is good, but on the Redmi Note 3 you find that it's comparable. The Redmi Note 3 does have a little bit warmer colors on the image, and this is somewhat accurate because the sun was out at that time. And let's see this image. So this image also shows sharpness on the Redmi Note 3 is definitely better and color balance is definitely better. So overall the camera on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 is indeed better when compared to the Huawei Honor 5X. The experience on both of these smartphones is great, and the UI on both of these smartphones is somewhat similar, but the MIUI is indeed well polished and does feel better than the UI on the Huawei smartphone. But the UI also has certain features which makes the MIUI feel inferior in front of it. Overall, both of these smartphones are great, but in terms of RAM management, the UI on Huawei Honor 5X definitely does not use that much RAM as compared to the MIUI. So that's something good about the Huawei Honor 5X. But overall, talking about how feature rich the custom interface is, then the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 does win on this front. Both of these devices sport a 5.5-inch Full HD display, and both of these devices look good, but the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 3 does have a little bit more saturation when compared to the Huawei Honor 5X. And talking about the battery life, then the Honor 5X comes with a 3000 mAh battery, while the Redmi Note 3 comes with 4000 mAh plus battery. And when we talk about how much does the battery last, the Redmi Note 3 is a clear winner over here. Both of these phones have micro SD expandable slots, but the Honor 5X has a dedicated micro SD card slot, so that makes it better than the Redmi Note 3, which has a hybrid slot for the micro SD card. So the final choice boils down to which smartphone do you buy. For the price for which it retails, Xiaomi's Redmi Note 3 at a price of around 10,000 rupees is the most value for money smartphone right now in the 10,000 rupees price bracket. It does come with 2 GB of RAM, which can be a little less for MIUI at times. But talking about the competition is also good. The Huawei Honor 5X is indeed good, but when you talk about the fingerprint sensors, performance and everything else, the camera, the display, everything else, then the Redmi Note 3 does stand out as a clear winner. So guys, this was all for a comparison review between both of these smartphones. In case you liked this video, then don't forget to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check out all of these videos that we did in the past few days. And guys, no matter what you do, stay inspired to rise.